Lanterns is finally out, and oh boy, everyone has something to say about it, and I love it. The DCU is getting bold, and it is fun. Let's get into it, and of course, spoilers for the episode.
I might have slept with his wife.
Might have.
Al Jordan, who has been Green Lantern since 1986, takes a young John Stewart on an investigation into a shooting in rural Nebraska, which, as it turns out, involves aliens. John alternates between the investigation, his relationship with Hal, and his training as the next Green Lantern. But 10 years later, John returns to Nebraska as Hal is found dead in the snow with his ring missing. And that is what everyone is talking about.
Shit. Am I dead?
I really loved that the show creates this dissonance between fear being a good thing, a human thing, and Will just being this weird antipathic behavior. Hal is a dick to others. John is somewhat emotionless and unresponsive. It feels like the show is asking, is that what it takes to be a Green Lantern? This behavior is shown within John as soon as the first scenes, where he clearly doesn't care that his siblings fear their father, and he doesn't even flinch at said psychopathic father shooting an apple from his head. There's so much tension just within this scene, and John feeling none of it does take the weight off of our shoulders. But man, does it feel wrong from an emotional perspective. Now, the world of Green Lantern being about the emotional spectrum, I wonder if the show will carry on that vision of you have to be fearless, emotionless to be a Green Lantern, or if John will actually learn that it is not about being emotionless, but about accepting, understanding, and controlling the emotions within yourself. I personally prefer that second theory, especially considering that everything just feels wrong within the show. Not the show itself, but what is happening. Hal almost kills John, then discovers he had his consciousness saved in the ring, but in 2006. Why 2006?
Lanterns, they're required to be uploaded weekly.
Hal picks up the news, panics, and goes to Nebraska. Of course, there's bound to be mysteries. It's a police show after all. And I have to admit, I am very, very intrigued. And since this is also John's building Romanesque story, seeing them make mistakes and be unsure only makes you more involved within the story.
I just fucked up, didn't I?
As for Hal, his cockiness shines throughout the episode, but I particularly want to talk about this scene.
10 minutes.
I only need 5.
I'll come in with you.
You are not.
Here, he finally manages to get a hold of this man and interrogates him, persuaded that he's an alien. The tension is very difficult to handle, especially when he caves in, because he doesn't cave in a I give up way, but more so in a alright, I'll play your game, but I'm in control way, which is all the scarier.
Let's say you're right.
Oh, fuck.
Here, we have Sheriff Carrie Kane stand in front of the window, her reflection being over the alien, but he is still more visible than her. He shines, she is scared. She feels small. Meanwhile, John on the left is not scared at all. He's taking over his half of the screen, even going beyond the camera angles, and nobody is hiding his reflection. He dominates his space because he is not scared. But she is terrified and small. It is even more blatant in this scene as the beeping goes on. He's an active threat, and she's totally overshadowed by him. It's brilliant, and you can feel the fear in her facial expression. The whole interrogation scene plays out in a super manner. Hal is smart, he knows Earth, he knows culture, he knows how a rural Nebraskan man would talk about Barack Obama, etc. He's not just a cocky man, he's more than that, and it shows.
Pretending to be someone that you're not. You learn all the specifics, but you don't learn what everyone else knows.
Which is what makes this scene all the more interesting. We have in front of us two possibilities, or well, there's probably more, but two interesting ones. One, he is indeed dead, and whatever did it is an even greater danger. Or two, that's not him. I've seen theories that state there's manhunters hiding as people, Sinestro Corps member hiding as people, that this Hal could actually be an alien in disguise, maybe. But for now, we can't really tell. There's also a possibility that Lanterns is adapting the storyline in which Hal becomes Parallax, which if I recall in the comics, he does so because the city gets destroyed or something. Well, the ones I've read, it's been a while since I've read anything Green Lantern related, I am sorry. So we could be uncovering traumatic events that have led Jordan to become less and less like himself as Parallax takes over, which is why he was so different in 2006, and perhaps he will become a threat in the show or the DCU at large. Because, you know. But it's clear to me that this episode is trying to be about that dichotomy between Will and fear, and I wonder if it's going to try and break it later on in a these are not mutually exclusive things kind of way. Either way, I am truly excited. I mean, I'm sad not to have witnessed Hal as Green Lantern with the League and all, but it does make me feel like the DCU is alive beyond all the things we see, even though I do prefer to see things unfold. Nothing stops them from making flashbacks, prequel shows, and movies if they can. Whatever tells a good story. And since John is meant to return in the next Superman, I can't wait to see how his story is going to unfold. I actually know very little about him from the comics, and I'm very curious to know more, which is why, by the way, if you do have comics to recommend or runs to recommend, especially with John, I would love to know. In conclusion, everyone is upset about Hal's death, but it's getting them talking, and it's getting them interested, isn't it? You wanna know what's next? And so do I.